By the way, all of those YouTubers and those gurus that try to perpetuate that lie. They make $100,000 in revenue, and now like they're equipped to sell you this course of their rented Lamborghini. And I know these kids firsthand. Bro, the only reason why you're making money is because of lies and because you're tricking people that don't know any better to buy your shit, when in reality, they don't have a fucking leg to stand on.
I guess really now that you've achieved success, like people probably see this on the outside and are like, wow, he's got it all now. He must be super happy. He must have it all figured out. Like, how do you view the next 2 years of your business going forward?
That's a good question. In regards to tabs, there are a lot of high leverage decisions that I can make that are going to result in a crazy amount of impact and revenue in terms of the bottom line. So for example, right now we only sell within the United States. We're only sold domestically, but more than 40% of all of our traffic is international. So right away, just opening up our product to international countries will have a massive impact on our bottom line, right? So like that's kind of one big move that I'm gonna make. Two is is diversifying from my direct to consumer Shopify website. Right now, 99% of all of our sales comes from our D2C Shopify site. I want to move, or not I want, we're actively, and right now, we're making these moves. We're moving to Amazon, we're moving to Amazon, we're moving to Etsy, we're moving to Walmart, all these online platforms.
So I have a question on this.
Yeah.
Each one of those new verticals, how are you going about learning each one of those new
Bringing
verticals?
on experts.
Are you hiring them, advisors, or?
Consultant, advisor, experts that are launching those platforms. But so right now, 99% of all of our revenue comes solely from our Shopify website. We're breaking onto online platforms like Amazon, Etsy, Walmart. We're breaking into wholesale and retail, right? Gas stations, smoke shops, sex shops, convenience stores, hotels.
Have you gotten deep into those, the actual
not yet,
physical locations?
Not yet. No. Right now, not at all. But we're now starting to kind of plant those seeds. And then I would say the other big move is just increasing is coming out with new flavors, new experiences, moods, product lines. There's so many different ways that we can take this. And I think I spoke about this a little bit earlier, but I'll just reiterate. We could become potentially the shroom chocolate brand and corner that market. We could become the Delta 8, Delta 9 CBD chocolate brand. We could corner that market. We could become the sex shop for Generation Z and corner that market. We could be the mood, the functional food brand that comes out with a gummy times relax, or a pre-workout times chocolate, whatever. So there's so many different ways where we can take the business, and now it's about kind of masterminding all right, we're now doing 8 figures a year in revenue. What are the moves that we need to make in order to bring it to 9 and 11? I mean, 11, right? But 8, 9, 10.
Why not?
Let's come for the B.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at, where my headspace is at for tabs. And in terms of me personally, there are a couple other projects that I'm very passionate about, which I can't talk too much about, but I'm just gonna dip my toes into the software space. And for those of you that don't really know this, on e-commerce, typically you'll see a multiple on your EBITDA, on your profit, your earnings before taxes, right, adjusted taxes, of 3 to 5x. For SaaS, you're seeing an exit of 10 to 20x revenue, right? Because it's MRR, and so I think that tabs has been an incredible stepping stone for me, and I do want to see it through. But I'm also starting to get excited about new avenues altogether that I think will create and build generational wealth. So, and then lastly, I want to point out, I'm starting to really focus on building my personal brand. So do not forget to subscribe to me on YouTube.
Call to action.
At Oliver Brocato, Brocato. But I'm starting to take my personal brand incredibly seriously. I've seen the opportunity and the opportunities that have fallen into my lap from having 20,000 followers on Twitter, a modest 20,000 followers on Twitter, right? Investors that want to throw cash at me, some of the craziest talent I've seen that want to work for me for free, parties, events, masterminds, right? I've seen firsthand the impact that Twitter has, that my little social media following has on my life, and I want to multiply that. And so I'm breaking into YouTube, TikTok, Instagram.
How many subscribers do you have on YouTube right now?
800. Like
It's gonna be fun to watch you grow.
maybe like 600.
Yeah.
I think I have like 600.
Mhm. That'll change soon. Okay, so those like just the common verticals. Do you really see yourself, like you're talking about software, you're talking about diversifying?
Yeah.
Is this because now you kind of separate yourself from the business? It's like a well-oiled machine, and now you can start diversifying. So smart, dude.
Absolutely.
So ultimately, what's your goal? Like, do you have like a why? Like, I know people always talk about that, but I think people say in business, follow your passion.
Right.
I think, but a lot of people that I've known, just business is their passion.
Business is my passion.
Yeah.
Like people talk about like fucking hobbies and whatever. Like I love creating. I love building, and I'm addicted to like that feedback. And you know, the feedback is creating an amazing brand and product with that leads to impact at the very foremost. And then also like money is like the scoreboard, right?
Mhm.
Like, and there's no cap on
It's
that.
a sport, yeah.
It's a sport. It's a game. Like your life doesn't change from 2 million to 3 million.
Nope.
Like at all. Like at all. But it's like it's a game. It's a game, and you wanna level up and you wanna beat your high score. In terms of the like my why, right? Like I would say like I for sure had a chip on my shoulder growing up.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like like seeing like my friend Jack and like his family, like his multi-millionaire dad, and I see like my dad that would wake up and slave from like 6 a.m. to like 9 p.m. every single fucking day, and like my dad was like afraid of getting fired, even though like he was a top performer, and by the way never did get fired because he was a top performer, but like that's just
the
like
anxiety
that's just the anxiety of
business.
having a job and being in like the financial space, right? Like when there's a downturn, like everybody's sweating bullets, but like I saw my dad like working his ass off and it never being enough, right? Like it was never enough. And I was like, I can be that guy. Why not me? Why not me? On top of that, like, I would say like, I always looked at myself like as a kind of like an outlier. Like, dude, I wasn't the smartest kid, like in math class. I didn't get the best grades, but like, I know that like I was destined for great things. I know that like I had potential and I wanted to see that through. And people slept on me, bro. Like people slept on me. Like, friends slept on me, teachers slept on me, like everybody slept on me. And I'm a testament to the fact that you can create your own path, you can do what people say you can't, and at the end of the day, the sky's the limit and you create your own reality. And I will say like, I'm like kind of like a rebel too, a little bit. Like I can never like work for somebody. Like I can never like follow orders or like
Same.
or like be an employee, and like I'm an outlier. I'm an outsider, man. Like
A personality trait.
it is a personality trait, and like I would get bored like doing the same like repetitive task over and over, and like I need to like I love the game of entrepreneurship. I love the fire, the stress, the anxiety, the intensity. I live for that.
Entrepreneurship is not fun. Like,
No,
it sucks like every inch of
no.
it. But on the outside, it looks so glamorous.
No.
It's you have to be built differently.
Something that I realized, every successful entrepreneur has struggled, like battle scars. Like what they say, like all the scars, it creates scar tissue. So
Steve
that
Jobs
like
did that, yeah.
yes, like the next time you get cut, there's so much scar tissue that you don't even bleed, right? And like there is no successful entrepreneur without all those L's and without all those painful lessons and failures. And anybody thinks that they can shortcut that, or anybody thinks that there's like they can get rich by drop shipping, right off the bat, or like they can go from 0 to fucking millions. I got some sad news for you. That ain't the case. And by the way, fuck all of those YouTubers and those gurus that try to perpetuate that lie so that they could line their pockets and they can make money selling you the dream, selling you the course. Fuck all of those guys. Like, it's fucked up. They make $100,000, max in revenue, maybe like $10,000, like fucking, off their company. And now like they're equipped to sell you this course of their rented Lamborghini. And I know these kids firsthand. They're not impressive. They haven't really like, they don't know what it takes to run a business. They don't run a business. They run a lie where they tell the youth and they tell kids that, hey, just like just like me, you can make money like me. Bro, the only reason why you're making money is because of lies and because you're tricking people that don't know any better to buy your shit. When in reality, they don't have a fucking leg to stand on.
I could not agree more. One nuance or caveat I want to make is that people lump those type of course sellers to all course
Right.
sellers. Like college,
Right.
like equally as passionately as you
Right.
are, I would say that college is 10 times worse because college is $60,000.
College is worse.
But these people that are selling these courses in their early 20s that just like made $100,000 one time or whatever.
Not even,
yeah,
bro. Some of them, dude.
Yeah, it's all fake. Like for
Bro,
sure.
it's like, okay, like let's break this down. Like I know a guy that has like on his like Twitter bio $1 million in revenue. It was $1 million in revenue over 3 years, right? So that's 330. Let's say $300,000, you know, for simple math, right, per year. And he had 20% margins, right? So that's $60,000 in profit per year, right? And then he's a business partner, so it's 50-50. Homie was making 30 G's a year. That's below minimum wage.
Yeah, it's not. But they say they use revenue
Right.
too as
$1 million in revenue.
Yeah, irrelevant.
Homie was making $30,000 a year. That's go work at fucking Shake Shack, bro.
It's so funny.
Go work at Shake Shack, and you're and now, homie's pulling in. I know homie's pulling in over $30,000 a month off courses.
And people will say, my agency makes $30,000 a month when their agency makes $2,000 a month and $28,000 are course sales.
But I agree. I don't want to like. It's sad because like these guys ruin the integrity and ruin like the game for everybody. You're right, bro. There are for sure, studs. There are for sure like legends that have that have a course or have a mastermind where it, like the ROI on that is immeasurable. Unfortunately, though, like those losers have kind of like ruined the taste for the rest of the people. And so like it's hard to kind of like
drop shipping of a personal brand.
It's hard to separate though like the people that are legit from the noise, and that sucks. But at the same time, like I don't want to like shut on it completely because you're right. Like there are beasts that inspire, that teach, that that help people like build fortunes. And it's not fair to shade the whole entire like space. But what I will say is that like 99% of the space.
No, it's an influencer. With if a person with a large following is selling a course, you're better off second guessing it and making sure they're actually legit.
Right.
But if you go to like Masterclass or Udemy,
Right.
like you got the CEO of Disney making a course.
Right.
And if you want to learn how, like if you actually know what industry you want to be in or what business model you want to do, the best thing you can do is pay
Right.
thousands of dollars to learn from the best person.
Absolutely.
But it's your fault if you fall for this YouTuber that has 1 million followers and makes a VSL.
Right.
Like you have to take accountability there.
But here's the other thing too, is that like there are people that I go to that run $100 million brands. Like we're homies. Like my boy doesn't have a course. Like I get on a phone call with him and he's giving me like strategic advice and tactics. Like, so I don't know about that whole thing.
So then people's argument is going to be, if they're making so much money with their business, why are they trying to sell a course?
Right. And which there is a counter argument to. Like there's a lot of leverage in selling a course. Like right now, like
well, it's even if you're good at something, you should want more people to be good at that, unless it's direct competition.
Well, that too. But I mean, like for example, I offer consulting like on the side. It's like a side gig. And I charge like $300 for 30 minutes, which is a lot of money. And it's like 7-figure, 8-figure brand owners.
I saw your tweet on this.
Yeah, dude. And the reason why, like, it's not like because I need the money, but I have like thousands of tweets coming in every day. I have like hundreds, thousands of DMs. Hey, I got a question for you. Hey, can you hop on a call? Whatever. And so like that $300 like kind of fee separates the noise from the people that are legit.
Such an important
right?
point.
And so when I hop on those consulting calls, like I'm now talking to like real e-com people that run 7-figure, 8-figure brands, and they're incredible conversations. Oftentimes we become friends afterwards, and I for sure give them more than $300 in value. I'm plugging them
without a doubt.
I'm plugging, because again, when you're at that point, all you need to do is optimize one thing by 0.1%. We're talking about tens of thousands of dollars, maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe millions, right? So if they get on a call and I'm able to optimize one little thing, they're seeing 100 times ROAS on that, 100 times return. And I see the appeal of the course, right? Like now I'm starting to like hop on quite a few consulting calls where I should probably either
make it once, send it to all of them.
Exactly. Instead of hopping on a 30 minute, where it's like oftentimes the same questions,
exact same, every
same,
time.
Like now it's like, okay, wait a second. Might as well like make a course. Might as well make a mastermind. And this is something that I've been debating because I don't want to be another NPC like guru out there. Like the world does not need another one of those people. But at the same time, I for sure have like interesting stuff to share. I have like a different like voice, and I think that I could provide value. So it's something that I've been debating.
I think you should, because you've clearly proven that you walk the walk first. And yeah, people are going to lump you into, oh, he's just a course seller. That's how he made his money. But those people's opinions are irrelevant.
I don't
And,
know. I
bro,
don't
think
know.
about-
I don't know if it's irrelevant, dude. Because like I look at other people, and automatically in my head,
Would you not work with
devalue
someone
them.
if they just because they sold a course?
I wouldn't not work with them, but automatically, like let's say I would like rate them a 9 out of 10 because like I saw them, and now I say like they're selling a course in their bio. Maybe they're a 6 out of 10. It's not to say I'm not going to work with them, but it's to say like they just dropped 2 points in my book for sure.
Do you want to help people?
Absolutely.
How can you help the most people? And then people be, oh, we'll make the course free. But then it kind of goes into the like a balance of, is it worth my time? Then will these people actually take it seriously?
That is
Because
if you give it to free, they won't even take it seriously.
If they take it, they won't take the course. They'll watch 2 videos and then shit on you publicly. So you actually want to charge to make sure you're only getting quality people. Because if I make a course on how we use Web3 in these big companies, that does not apply to like any normal person starting out today. They won't understand it. So you want to charge higher to attract a higher audience.
That's valid.
Just like a luxury brand.
Right, which is what we were talking about with
but for
chocolate.
courses,
You're
it's
right.
the same thing that applies.
You're right. You're 100% right. And so, this is something that I've been thinking about and grappling with. Yeah, but I mean, we'll see where things happen there. But fuck the money. Like, I make enough money. Like, for me, like the personal brand has been just like invaluable in terms of like the relationships, the connections. It's access, bro. I got access to cutting edge information, cutting edge tactic, the top talent, investors. Anything that I want is one person away.
So much more valuable.
I put out a tweet and I can literally move mountains.
Yeah, I think I can get in contact with almost anybody.
I believe you.
But I want to go back to the course thing real quick. Is like if I talked to Bill Gates, he couldn't help me at all. Like he is so far above me
100%.
that it wouldn't even be useful. And so you just need to find those people that are like one step under you, so you can point at the 3 things. Like your advice on the TikTok UGC, guarantee you makes me an extra 6 figures this year. Guarantee it. Just off this conversation. So there's value to that. But ultimately, there's so much value to a personal brand for every reason we just
100%.
covered. And so it's worth doing. I think for courses, one last thing, I just love this. I spent $100,000 on courses myself. Most valuable in masterminds, most valuable thing I've ever done. Literally told me the exact playbook, how to think about things, who to learn from. But for like the business model, if it's for beginners, it needs to be free.
I've never bought a course. I have not joined a single mastermind. And like, dude, I'm getting my information like straight from the mouth of like, the top killers in the space.
How do you meet those people? How do you get on a call with them?
Twitter, man. Dude, I just like, since I started the company, I've been tweeting about my thoughts, like my philosophy, my perspective, and then just like sharing like what's going on in my life, like my journey and tactics and tricks and hacks of, what I do. And you can follow me.
Do it, bro. Yeah.
And you can follow me on Twitter at Oliver __ B1. I'm on all other social media platforms at Oliver Brocato, Brocato, Instagram, YouTube, whatever. But like, I've been like just putting myself out there, and it's unbelievable, man. Like
before you had leverage, before you had results, how did you get in contact with these people? Obviously, you got lucky with this high school.
It wasn't results. Like people aren't like, oh, like he made $1 million, he's valid. It's just like, dude, I'm myself. Like I was so authentic about like my views and like what I was doing, and people started following me, like just like be along, on my journey and be along on the ride. And people
Your
were
tweets,
like,
you're saying?
Yeah, people were like kind of like living vicariously through me. I'm a college student at the University of Michigan, and I'm like tweeting about like how I'm taking a picture of my MacBook and I'm in a lecture class, and I'm like doing product research. And like, dude, if you have an interesting take and like you're unique in some sort of like way where like you're not just regurgitating the same bullshit that everybody else is hearing, people start to take notice. And over time, tabs started to get bigger and bigger, and over time my personal brand on Twitter started to get bigger and bigger. And I've connected with moguls, bro. People that run multi-$100 million brands, people that run conglomerates, like investors, VCs, creatives, like anybody and everybody. And it's a very small world. It's a very small community. I think you can testify to that. I feel like once you reach a certain point in our e-com world, you become known, and like people know who you are, you know who they are, and like there's like you're legit or you're not legit. Like there's like an understanding. It's like, oh, we have like 8 different mutuals. It's like I can like background check you like that, right? Like I could reach out to Alex, right, who's a mutual friend of ours. It's like, yo, what's the deal with this guy? And then I could like, so you know what I mean? Like your name and reputation starts to like carry a lot of weight. Start penetrating those kinds of circles,
and you start becoming known for something, which is really important. How do people talk about you? Just like your product,
right? And I'm like the TikTok like organic guy. Like
there you go.
That's like my personal brand. Like I'm like the TikTok organic guy, and hopefully in the next coming years, I'll be known for a lot more than that.
Well, my friend, hopefully we can have you back and maybe sooner than that, and we can kind of get an update on what your journey's been. But I think watching your personal brand grow, I think you're going to grow really fast.
Thank you.
You have this down. You're definitely credible. So I think this was really insightful. I recommend everybody watch this back 2 times at least, because he dropped so much knowledge. You need to internalize that. And we talk really fast. So definitely watch this again, but go follow him on all social media. You already know his name. We gave like 4 plugs, but my friend, great to like actually get to know you. That was really inspiring. I learned a lot.
Thank you,
Look
Ryan.
forward to the next one, brother.
Cheers. Thank you.